Welcome back, True Seeker. It is Monday, May 13th, 2024. And one of the big headlines today, Melinda French Gates is leaving the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. And we're going to talk about, again, what a perfect ritual this is, how it lines up with what I wrote in my book, Number Games, how these people were an arranged marriage on the first day in 94 days before Kurt Cobain's death. Of course, she makes this announcement today, 94 days before her August 15th birthday. But again, their entire marriage, their entire life up to the divorce. Again, when I wrote in my book, they were an arranged marriage that was literally synced. Again, from the first day of 94, that's how long the pandemic was planned out. But I explained why in the book, how their marriage was part of the planned pandemic of 2020. And again, for people who can't wrap their mind around it, you got to expand your intelligence up here. What we're putting out day after day is not mistaken. There are so many arranged marriages in the world of celebrity. And this is another one. And we're going to get to everything that's so perfect about this ritual and how perfectly synced this is with the divorce. And again, their divorce was just like Jeff Bezos' divorce, paying tribute to the Seattle numbers, because, of course, both of them are up there. Bill Gates started his company in New Mexico like Jeff Bezos. The land of the aliens is New Mexico, and then they both move them up to Seattle, the land of the Space Needle, where the world's first UFO sighting was just months before Roswell happened. Again, technology, alien, ritual. Anyway, if you guys didn't see the last time I was out in Seattle, again, we'll be back out there again before long, but the last time we were out in Seattle was the opening day of the NFL season, and we were out there explaining why the Seahawks were going to lose the home opener to Matt Stafford, who was going to get his 94th career win. And of course, that's exactly what happened. And again, let's just go through it. Let's talk about why 94 is so important to Seattle, how it goes beyond Bill and Melinda Gates, how it goes to the contrived pandemic, all of it. Okay, so let's just start right here. Melinda Gates, again, she comes from a family of Jesuit priests. The Jesuits are from France. Her name is Melinda French Gates, but you can see it's 94 days before her upcoming birthday that this news breaks. And remember, Bill and Melinda, they supposedly met in 87, the same year Nirvana was established. Again, Kurt Cobain's death was synced with their arranged marriage. They wiped out the most famous guy in Seattle, Kurt, to make way for Billy Goat. But again, Nirvana is a Buddhist concept. Just for the record, in Gematria, Buddhist equals 87, like Bill Gates. Again, going back to that year, 87, the year Bill and Melinda met before they were married on the first day of 94. Again, Bill Gates became a celebrity in 94. At the same time, Kurt Cobain was dying. And let's not forget, Seattle's the 206 area code, and Kurt Cobain died 206 days before Bill's birthday. It's a sacrifice number as well. But yeah, there it was, from Bill and Melinda's marriage, New Year's Day of 94, to Kurt's death 94 days later in Gematria, Seattle, Washington equals 94. That same year in 94, Bill Gates' mother would die. When the pandemic rolled around, Bill's father died at age 94 on the anniversary of the, was it the birth? It was either the anniversary of the birthday of the death of the founder of Planned Parenthood, and of course, Bill Gates' father was the co-founder. I'm just going to scroll through this post and see if there's anything else I want to mention. You see the 33, how from Bill's Playboy interview on 3/3 to Kurt's death was 33 days later. Bill Gates equals 33. It's 33 months from the divorce that now she's leaving the foundation. So many rituals with Bill Gates and 33 in the past. Some of these other things have to do with Kurt Cobain's murder. There's a lot to say about that. But yeah, there's Bill. 206 days after Kurt died, Bill's birthday. Go figure. Again, Seattle's the 206 area code. There's a lot of things that are interesting here, but we've all covered it in the past many times before. You can always come read these posts. I just want to make sure. Yeah, oh man, the whole Tom Hanks sleepless in Seattle pandemic joke. That was a good one from the cabal. But yeah, here, let's go to this as well. Bill Gates' decade of vaccines. He did this on the 29th day of 2010. A decade is 10, 29 is the 10th prime. Bill Gates pledged $10 billion of his money that year to have a push so that 10 years later was 2020 when the pandemic came, there'd be a push to vaccinate all the children of the world. That's what Billy Goat wanted. But yeah, he did that in Davos, where the World Economic Forum is, again, who simulated the pandemic. Davos has that Gematria 29. From Bill's birthday to his decade of vaccine speech was his 94th day of his age. Davos, Switzerland, and Seattle, Washington. You can see how they overlap in Gematria. The exact same in 3 out of the 4 base ciphers. Again, they both equate to 94. A decade later, the first case of coronavirus in the world outside of mainland China just happens to be in Seattle, where Bill Gates is, where the big needle is, where the big obvious ritual was. So yeah, Bill's father went by the numbers. I wrote this post before his father died. His father ended up dying by the numbers, but died at 94. Again, Bill's mother, dead in 94. From Bill's birthday to their marriage was 65 days later. The phrase decade of vaccines equals 65, just like pandemic, just like how in the Event 201 simulation, which was 65 days after Melinda Gates' birthday, 65 million people die. Again, the word pandemic equals 65. Again, these two in an arranged marriage for the planned pandemic that was really a lot about 94. And then they get divorced by the numbers right after the whole thing's over. So, again, a lot of these rituals are planned long in advance. You want to be a character on the world stage, you got to sign on the line that you're down for the 30-year marriage script, essentially. And it is 30 years later. Saturn's return every 30 years. 30 years later, she doesn't even want to have her name on the foundation. And as someone who was living in Seattle, Washington, when they built that Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, again, it just seemed like a scumbag move when they even put in the foundation, because do you know what they took out? They took out the best park in downtown Seattle, took out the best park in the city to build the scumbag Bill Gates' foundation. No, it's where people actually, congregated and hung out and played basketball, and there was a skate park there, and, people were actually outside, which is kind of rare in Seattle. People are very antisocial in Seattle because of the weather, but that park was one nice thing about it, and they tore it all out to build the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, where they could, plan things like the Scandemic from, where Bill Gates can gloat about what the nice things he's doing for Africans by testing all his jabs on them and building factories where black men can go into netted areas and get bitten by GMO mosquitoes, and he pays them a decent wage. It's like, why don't you open those jobs up in Seattle, Bill? Why don't you open up the mosquito cages for the white populace north of Dearborn in Seattle? What a nice guy to give the black people of Africa a chance to get eaten alive by GMO mosquitoes because they're so desperate. But yeah, that Jesuit cabal, they've been warned about how racist they are for a very long time. Lincoln penned it, said they were the purveyors of the Civil War, slavery. And again, Melinda Gates from a family of Jesuit priests. No doubt Bill Gates part of the fraternity. So yeah, just had to get on here and document the latest 94. And for a little bit more, they got married. They got divorced, on 8/2, August 2nd. Seattle equals 82. COVID equals 82. Pfizer equals 82. Remember, they began doing the research right away. Pfizer was there to rush out the jab for the 99.9% survivable that's taken the lives of a lot of young people since it came out. Undeniably, you got to be brain dead to not know that. But yeah, exactly 145 weeks later, just the phrase Bill and Melinda equates to 145. Melinda's leaving the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation 145 weeks later, which again is 33 months, which goes with Bill Gates. Today's Bill's 199th day of his age. That's the 46th prime. Of course, Microsoft has the 46 connection, but remember, Catholic equals 145 and 46. And again, that's who runs this whole show. The Catholic Church puts the pawns on the chessboard like Bill and Melinda. on their calendar lines up the rituals every day. Remember, Catholic equals 145 and 46, and there's 145 more chapters in the Catholic Old Testament and 46 books in the Catholic Old Testament. So, Roman Catholic Church has that Gematria 94 as well. And let it today being 13/5, like 135. Remember where that number connects. It connects with the Illuminati. It connects with the CIA. Bavaria equals 135. Central Intelligence Agency equals 135. Order of Illuminati equals 201, like Central Intelligence Agency, United States of America equals 201, like William Henry Gates equals 201, like he was the main co-sponsor of Event 201. So a lot of things noteworthy about today. But, I think Seattle should tear down the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, get rid of that ugly-ass building and put the park back. And what should be there is a sign to never let scumbag tyrants who pretend to be good guys ever rise up on the world stage again. Maybe behead Bill and Melinda and bury them right there in the park underneath the basketball court. So I think that would be totally just. And I think anyone who has a problem with that plan is probably a moron. These people are fucking scumbags. Okay? Their foundation is ugly as shit. And it was built over the best park in Seattle. Pretty much the only one down. Yeah, it was the only park downtown. There's no other park downtown. No, it should have never happened. These people should have never happened. And it's funny, you go to Seattle, just all kinds of fat, ugly people just walking around. What are you talking about? Bill Gates is a hero. They got their Nirvana shirts on, too. It's like, if only they knew. He's no hero. They'll be in the grave before you know it anyway. Suckers for the jab. And don't forget, they said in the next 4 to 5 years after they start jabbing people, all of a sudden there was this new phantom heart disease. So some people who are still kicking, their heart's not going to be ticking much longer. And I'd say, honestly, rightfully so. If you went out and got that jab, you're a real sucker. You're a real dumbass. And you are the reason that all of it went on anyway. Had everyone taken our position, bucked the system, said, hell no, not falling for any of this shit. It's more obvious fear-mongering. It's another obvious lie. It's coming out of Switzerland, the land of the banker tyrants. Next thing you know, Jesuit scumbag Donald Trump's signing off on $6.2 trillion to make the guys in Switzerland even richer, while the nation's locked down, while mom and pop's out of business. Well, like literally every Seattle business grew its market share. Amazon got way bigger. Costco got way bigger. Bill got way more money off his jab scams. Yeah, Seattle was probably the most involved city in the world in planning the scandemic. And here's two of the faces of it. Bill Gates always with that schmuck look on his face. Poor guy. Poor guy to be born with that face, first of all, but he deserves a pie in it literally every day. You never seen Bill Gates take the pie in the face. I'm sad to say that was a ritual, too. I don't think it was organic, but he should organically get pies in the face every day. And if you guys haven't read my book, Number Games, I don't have any copies myself because last time I was in Seattle, somebody took them. While I had my back turned, somebody ran off with some of our stuff. Another guy was trying to light me on fire. Literally last time we were in Seattle. Seattle's got the mob. I was speaking this way, and guys behind me putting lighter fluid on the back of my sweatshirt. Somebody else saw it, thank God. Otherwise, it would have looked like a stunt show there. But, yeah, we'll be out again. I'm not afraid of the Seattle mob. I love to go out there and wake that sheep herd up, man. Seattle's got one of the dumbest populaces on the face of the earth. And, again, that's why we got to be out there more frequently. And, yeah, for those of you guys who miss me being out on the streets more often, again, the work is way down in the funding, which shouldn't be ever the case. It should be growing every day. I don't know how this funding doesn't grow every single day. I mean, that's what it should do. Doing great work every single day for over a decade straight. I don't know how it doesn't just continuously grow. It was actually until we went out and pounded pavement across the whole nation from Seattle to New York. And I'm pretty sure there was some kind of intervention there by big tech to sabotage what we had going. But, yeah, for all the people who just sit on the sidelines and, oh, yeah, that was another thing about Melinda, how nicely she tucked in with the whole scam. Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, 121. That was the day they confirmed the first case of COVID in Seattle, January 21st. Oh, yeah. Bill Gates' vaccine alliance, Gavi, established. Um, Gavi, the vaccine alliance, that's Bill Gates' thing. 129, of course, that's 201 in base 8 counting. And his decade of vaccines was January 29th, 129 again. 129 is 201 in base 8 counting. Right after event 201, it all went down. Gavi was established July 12th, 1999. And let me see. That was on Bill Gates' 258th day of his age. His father ended up dying on the 258th day of 2020. But when you run William Henry Gates in reverse, it's 258 as opposed to 201. Order of Illuminati is the same way. 201 forwards, 258 in reverse, just like William Henry Gates. Of course, number of the beast is 258. Goes with the whole 666 theme on the pandemic. Again, this stuff was all planned long, long ago. 12-7, that date. 127, religion equals 127. They put a very religious theme on the pandemic, paying tribute to Revelation all along the way. Revelation 121, you must accept the mark, one letter off from mask, if you want to buy or sell. Claydex, the first simulation by the same gang that did Event 201, was 666 days before the pandemic was declared, and we're coming up on that anniversary in 2 days. Claydex was May 15th, 2018, 2 years to the day. Or 2 years to the day, yeah, of Donald Trump, MAGA, the highest degree of the Church of Satan, declaring Operation Warp Speed. Don't forget, Trump's totally down with the satanic agenda. Obama, totally down with the satanic agenda. Joked that Trump would be number 45 on the Church of Satan's 45th birthday, 45 days before Trump's birthday. Holy Bible equals 45. The big way, the Holy Bible 201. Again, the whole ritual was set just so right for all these Jesuit scumbag palms on the chessboard to take their thrones, be in the position for X amount of time when they put that big old scam on us. And here were two of the biggest faces of it. So, shout out to 13 Serpents. Thank you again, friend. Appreciate your ongoing generosity. And yeah, we'll keep this one short and sweet. Shout out to Austin in the chat. Austin always pounds payment with me in Seattle when I'm out there. He is a reliable friend. So looking forward to it next time, Austin. We'll leave it there for now. And until next time, True Seeker.